Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 4 of PGIM India Mutual Fund presents Live Mint, Amend, Adjust, and Adapt. This is a series of high-powered panel discussions that we have been doing to try and figure out the success mantras for the new normal in the post-COVID world. And if, like me, you're wondering when the post-COVID world is coming, I'm afraid that we don't have a clear answer to, but we can try and tell you how to cope, and that's what we've been trying to do here. Today, in this particular episode, we're going to take a look at leadership in these turbulent times, both leadership and how you can motivate yourself. There are some fundamental differences that now have to be internalized. And leadership means not necessarily looking back to the past and saying, but that's the way it used to be 1 year, 2 years, 3 years ago. Because you could argue that even 1 year, 2 years, 3 years ago, these changes were always going to happen. You were always going to go digital. You would always end up having conversations like this on video conference and not think twice about them. We were always going to do it. It's just that this has accelerated the process and perhaps needed a reversal.
Yeah, absolutely, Vikram. I completely agree to that. And I think that, as you mentioned, there have been fundamental changes in the way business is being organized and people are working. And I think one of the most fundamental things there is what we've realized is the old command and control structure and the hierarchies that we've built in organizations. In this pandemic, for instance, given India's diversity and the federal structure, the locking and unlocking has been not synchronous across the country. And therefore, local teams in different places have had to really step up and be given direction as to what to do rather than, setting all the direction only from the top. So I think one fundamental aspect I see changing is the whole attitude towards the command and control structure and the hierarchy, and working as, Mr. Shivkumar said, in a far more collaborative way with your teams as well as your other stakeholders, on the ground. And you're right, there is a tendency when you look back and say that, this sort of top-down structure, we've seen successes before of that. I think that overconfidence can trip you up in the sort of ambiguity that is playing out, right now. And it's so much more important to take that leap of faith with your teams and listen to sort of diverse views that are coming up from the ground. And I think those are two things that are important. I think what we've done in the organization at PGIM, for instance, is to have more teams of diverse departments working together to solve for issues in the here and now. And that's actually motivated people as well, because they're really contributing to solving for the issues that we have at hand and moving forward.
One other question where leadership comes in, you've got to figure out as leaders, where do I allocate capital, for example? Are we seeing that process, for example, accelerating? I've seen a lot of chatter taking place almost constantly about look at the stock market, look at what's happening to tech stocks in America, for example. Crazy highs, all-time highs, Tesla 2100, whatever it is now. Is it a bubble or is it not? Two ways of looking at it. One is, yes, this is a bubble and it's not. Then people are saying that this time it'll be different when it is not. The other could be, as Shivkumar and Manish is saying, it's really reallocation of capital moving to the long-term winners in the new world. Which way would you analyze it?
I think, Vikram, it would be the latter in a large sense of the word, because, from the vantage of Prudential, what we have been seeing, obviously, is that while we talk about high valuations for many of these FANG stocks or technology stocks, what has happened during the pandemic also is that the market for many of these companies have actually expanded exponentially, whether it's payment systems or whether it's just consumer, like businesses like Amazon, where people are buying stuff online. So what we've noticed is that over many cycles, and Prudential's been there for 140 years, is that innovation takes over quite a bit during such strong downdrafts in economy and markets, and business models, as Shivkumar was saying, change, consumer behaviors change, and companies that actually are willing to fail, learn, get the insights, take enabling technology, move forward, are the ones that are actually becoming the winners in the new world, creating moats around themselves. Now, while that might be true, and this whole innovation-led growth, ingenuity-led growth is in time immemorial, and those have been successful businesses, I think this time around, the other thing that we might need to think about for some kind of these business models also is regulation. So from our vantage point, we're still sticking to the fundamentals: take care of asset allocation, make sure you're diversified across asset classes and not get swayed by stories that, oh, it's gold this time, or it's real estate this time, or it's tech stocks this time. I mean, concentration is a killer.